Good day, everyone. Jonathan Sarr, the Juvo Hub podcast. Thank you for joining us today. A new series that starts with episode 1 today on mental health in property management. And mental health in particular as it relates to training, learning, and development. Uh, Big topic overall. We're looking at things in this series from the student's perspective, and then also from the learning and development team's perspective, and anyone else that's involved in training. We really want to focus on what can we do to be aware of mental health challenges when it comes to training, learning and development. And with this awareness, have some foundation, a platform, some thoughts for the day, and how we can make adjustments. Often training is listed as like the less than important part of daily operations. So that's the goal of this series, is really just to let's bring it around. Let's understand a bunch of different perspectives, and also what can we do to highlight where the benefits of training coming and how they can improve mental health. So today's episode, we're going to focus on the student. The student, when they receive training, how do they feel? Is it yippy skippy, can't wait? Or is it more typically, ugh, I have training to do? That's the feeling that we want to address, is that, oh no, I have to take training. I have so much to do already. You think of different positions. So we got our leasing consultants, and they're great. I mean, they're just amazing. But it's like pulling teeth to get them to finish a fair housing class. Or you think of our maintenance professionals, maintenance supervisors, maintenance technicians, and they're trying to take their training and they're using their mobile device perhaps, and at the same time, all of these notifications are popping up about requests coming in, maintenance requests, residents that need assistance, and so on. So that's what we want to focus on, is how can we be more aware of what's going on? Well, first of all, that's what we want to start with. Those two examples, when you think of them, what's the issue? Are we putting ourselves in the shoes of those professionals? We've made training mandatory, and often we'll set a due date for it, which is totally acceptable. But what else have we done to make that training not a burden on our team, on our student, on our apartment, our property management professional? Think of the mental tax that this puts on people. So that's the short message for today. Think of ways that you can create a better environment so that they can take their training. So some organizations will say, okay, to take your training, let's say take our maintenance professionals as an example. We have booked the multipurpose room, the conference room, the office. We've booked this for you to come in at this time. You can shut everything off, but this is your time. You've got 1 hour, you've got 2 hours, whatever, however long the course is. And that goes for any on-site professionals. That's an opportunity to to alleviate that burden. because it's part of their scope of work. But if we haven't adjusted the original scope of work for the day, so the typical things that happen on a Monday, on a Wednesday, the first of the month, the middle of the month, the end of the quarter, we have to be able to look at that big picture and identify and clearly communicate that to the student. We have made an adjustment in your schedule so that you can take this training. And on top of that, now this is here's something that's even more challenging. You'll hear from people, but the amount of work that I have to do hasn't changed. Thank you for giving me the hour, but I still have 8 hours of work to do. So we have to make adjustments for both. Not only do we need to make the opportunity available, but are we doing things to redistribute, alleviate, minimize? It's all part of it. It takes communication, it takes planning, it takes the learning and development department to maybe communicate with operations. All of those things take good communication. So let's circle back. If we don't do these things, we're talking about the mental health of our student. So we ignore it. We ask our students, take your fair housing training, take your sales training, take your conflict resolution, and we don't change the environment. What is the student experience going to be like? And then what's the consequences of that? Student takes a piece of compliance training. They're rushed. They absorb 10% of it. Now that becomes a waste of time. They're put in a situation where perhaps if there was a better retention opportunity for that training, that they could make application in a scenario that's happening on site today. But because they didn't have the time to do their training in a quality environment, a mistake is made. So that's the message for us. Episode 1 of a series on mental health. When it comes to training, take a minute and think about this burden, the concept of mandatory training and not providing that environment. We look forward to our other topics in this series. Appreciate you guys being here. Jonathan Sarr, the Juvo Hub podcast. Take care, everyone.